We all keep talking about designing for consumer products like Zomato, Swiggy, Uber, Amazon, but we less often talk about designing for B2B. Designing for B2B products is a big part of design industry because these products needs to be designed with a lot more care because they are serving businesses and they can't switch products just like that. Hi, my name is Rohan Mishra. I'm the founder of Design Sundays, and today I'm going to bring you back one of the most viewed sessions on our channel on B2B and SaaS design by Mehak. I'm sure you're going to learn a ton from this video. Make sure to give us a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Let's go to the session.
The three major things that I believe that shaped my journey was first my passion for writing since I was a child. So I guess writing is very important when it comes to design because if you can articulate your thoughts, you can articulate your thoughts in a written manner, then you can of course design stuff that is there in your mind. So I did not know what design was. UX design was a new term to me when I was doing my graduation. And back in 2015 or 16, not a lot of people were aware about UX design or product design. So it was new for me as well. But I was interested in writing and I was a creative person at heart. So that is where I found my interest for design as well. And because I was interested in technology since a very long time and I was doing bachelor's in it, so that is how my journey kind of shaped itself into UX and product side. And now coming on to B2B, SaaS and XaaS. So just to give a brief introduction, B2B is business to business in simple terms. So a product that is used by not just end users, but a business that further develops products for end users. So we are designing products for end users, but the product that we are using, so for example, Figma or Adobe XD, they are the B2B products. So someone is also designing Figma and someone is also designing Adobe XD. That is what a B2B product is all about. So when you're designing, not exactly just for the end user, but also for the business. So many agencies are also using such design products. And SaaS is in short, software as a service. So it's a cloud-based pay-per-use and flexible tool that can be customized according to different businesses. So SaaS is nothing but, providing software as a service. For example, there are industries that have custom app development projects. So what happens is, if you are an industry who needs a very, very specific product only for your, workers, let's say, if you are, let's say you are McDonald's and you need a product to manage the staff in the backend. So you will not do that on a Facebook group. You cannot build a group on WhatsApp. You need a proper product where you can mark the, maybe the attendance, the salary and everything related to your staff. So building that product is hard because you need a lot of manpower. You need developers, designers. So what companies are doing is they provide SaaS as a like software as a service. They provide you with an option to choose a software, customize it, and pay only for the part that you are using. So an XaaS is nothing but it can be just anything as a service. So in future with cloud storage and with cheaper rates of cloud and not hosting it on your premise, cloud is going to be cheap, and that is the reason a lot of things can be offered as a service. For example, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, database as a service. So Facebook and Google is not exactly social media, I would say, but it is database as a service because they collect a lot of user data and they give it out to other companies, they sell it, or however they use that data is up to them. But more than social media, they are working as database as a service. And the reason why a lot of information is not available in this domain is because a lot of products were firstly developed in offshore development center environments. So many of them still are being developed in closed environments. Many companies did not find the need to think about those products from design perspective. So when you're talking about a small product, you think that you don't need designers, just a developer is enough. Or maybe you need this product only for like 10 people working in your staff. So why should you work so much with designers or product managers? So it's okay if you can just develop it. Doesn't matter how it looks or works, even if it is bad or even if it is very hard to work. So it's okay because companies don't want to spend a lot on design. They want cheaper products, they want fast deliveries. So UX maturity of those companies was still low. But now with SaaS, what is happening is a lot of tools and softwares are being provided for cheap prices and just on a pay-per-use basis. So companies don't have to go for a custom app development anymore. They will rather prefer another organization that is giving them a similar product at a cheaper price. So they will buy that product from them and use it only how much they want to use it, or maybe customize it. So because SaaS has become a thing, that is the reason now B2B and SaaS products are also, they are focusing a lot on design, they're focusing a lot on the aesthetic and UI part as well, because now they can. So apart from that, why a lot of information is not available in B2B SaaS is because there are a lot of security issues, confidentiality issues. The user base is not too much. Like Instagram is, I guess, being used by 1 billion people, but think about it, like how many people use Starbucks backend software? Not much, right? Only people at Starbucks. So the users are very limited, and it's a niche product, like it's built only for an industry or maybe a company. And because of these issues, you will not find these products on websites like Dribbble or Behance. And even as a designer, let's say I have worked on a project for Starbucks. Because of the confidentiality issues and security reasons, I will not be allowed to upload that project anywhere. So I cannot share that product on Dribbble or on Behance for the other designers to look at it. So that's the reason you will not find information on B2B or SaaS products online. But then how to solve user problems in such products where users are not readily available, where you can't do a lot of user research because the users itself are very less. So how do you go about that? So the first thing is common sense. I believe that UX is a lot about common sense, and UX is also a lot about analytical thinking and critical analysis. So it's not rocket science. So you can discuss with your internal teams, you can discuss with the developers and your product manager if you are facing any kind of problems. And I guess one way to solve any problem when it comes to any product where users are not available is stepping into the shoes of the users and thinking from their perspective. Like, what would a user do if he was about to sign up on my app? Will he face any problems? Will he be able to complete the journey without any issues? So that is something we called SUM, or synthetic user monitoring. So synthetic user monitoring is like pretending to be a user, or imitating the journey of a user from different directions. So if you are in one place in the website or application, how will you go to the other place? So will you find a problem doing that? So if yes, then how can you solve that problem? How can you make it easy? So these are the ways that you can solve problems in B2B and SaaS products. And then the ultimate way is obviously to have real user feedback and do real user research. But many times that becomes a bottleneck to a lot of projects, because B2B and SaaS products, as I told you, are very niche and very industry specific. And now the biggest question that I get asked all the time: how to add such projects to your portfolio? So the first thing is, go on Google or internet and do your research, but don't look for such projects on Dribbble or Behance, because honestly you will not find them, and you will not find good projects, like good B2B SaaS products to take inspiration from. So a proper research about different business tools that are being in different industries, what they look right now, and how do you think you can improve them? How do you think you can improve them aesthetically? How do you think you can improve them functionally? And then you can add them to your portfolio and present it. It's like a redesign itself, but not redesigning Facebook or Twitter, but redesigning a product that is being used in a SaaS environment. I've also pulled one example for you guys that you can look at, and that is ServiceNow. ServiceNow is a product that is being used by a lot of companies and a lot of industries right now, and it's like a dashboard system where you can do anything. So the reason I'm sharing this example is because I have seen how it works, and I have seen how a ServiceNow developer works, because my husband is a ServiceNow developer. So yeah, he gave me a walkthrough of this product, and there are things that can be improved from UX side. But what happens is ServiceNow has hired their own designers. So ServiceNow is a company like Microsoft and Google. So ServiceNow is giving this product to different companies to use. So ServiceNow has hired their own designers and their own developers also to build this dashboard. But there are ServiceNow developers as well working in different companies who work on this dashboard and build other products. So it might get complicated. So I will explain it in a simpler way. Think about this, like me and you, we are using tools like Adobe XD or Figma. So there are people who are designing Figma, and there are people who are designing on Figma. So if I am a UX designer who's working in the design team of Figma as a product, so if I'm working in Figma in the company, so then I will be only working on the tool, the interface. Then I'll be solving problems that designers will face. who are using Figma. But if I'm using Figma, then I'll be designing different products for other industries and other companies. ServiceNow is not exactly the same thing, but more or less the same thing. So I believe that ServiceNow has a lot of scope when it comes to UX or product design. So it can be made better. There are a lot of things that can be improved aesthetically. If there are 100 people watching this YouTube live right now, and all 100 of us decide to pick up one module of ServiceNow and redesign it, I guess even then none of our portfolios will look the same, because ServiceNow is that vast. We can have 100 different modules to redesign and look at. So this is one screen, like you can see, this is like a dashboard kind of screen where there are instances and there is a lot of information. So another thing about B2B and SaaS products is that you might have to work with a lot of data. So data visualization is something that you should work on if you want to include such projects in your portfolio. So data visualization has to be, you need to learn it, you need to go through it, and you should be good at it. Also, for this entire live session, I also thought I'll talk a bit about machine learning and artificial intelligence in UX design. So there are three types of machine learning. So first is supervised, then unsupervised, and finally semi-supervised. For supervised, the training data includes the output. So to keep things simple, I've also included simple examples that you can understand. So supervised machine learning model, think about this, that the data tells the machine or the brain that the places higher than 1 meter are dangerous to jump from. It will include all the places like a staircase, a terrace, a mountain, a building, and anything, right? And unsupervised data does not include output. So the data will only tell the brain that high places are dangerous, but it will not tell how high. And the semi-supervised is the training data that includes some output. So the data might tell the brain that high places are dangerous, including mountains and hills. So it will not tell you about staircase or terrace of a building. Now think about this, that a child tries the advice of a sibling. So, when we all are young, we try some adventures. So he falls down, he hurts himself, and now he has learned from his experience that staircases are dangerous. So now he has added this thing to his knowledge. So next time, if that child will be around a staircase, he will not try to climb down or jump, because he has learned this thing from his experience. So this is, a way that the child has programmed his mind through experience. So machine learning is similar, programming, reprogramming, learning, and becoming better. So when we talk about machine learning algorithms also, they work in exactly similar way. In supervised machine learning, you tell the child that, hey, anything that is higher than 1 meter is dangerous, don't go there. If you just tell the child that mountains are dangerous, he might try to climb down a staircase and jump and hurt himself, and then learn from that experience that not only mountains but even staircases are dangerous. So machine learning works in the same way. So in machine learning, what happens is you tell some things to the model, and the model learns from the environment and becomes smarter and smarter and smarter. And that's how, the Transformer movie was made. So artificial intelligence or robotics can sometimes also get out of hand. But yeah, if you do that in a controlled way, so no, humanity will not be killed. The other question is, do you need to know how to code to understand ML? No, absolutely not. What I just told you was more than enough, that you need to know as a designer, how machine learning works. You need to know about some algorithms that you can use in your design. But machine learning is just that, supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised learning, and that's all. So as a designer, you just need to know the basics or the functioning, so that you can know what kind of features you can include in your designs and how you can design using machine learning. And the next thing is voice, conversational design, and voice gadgets or voice devices. So I guess everyone is using smartphones and devices like Alexa, Google Assistant, HomePod, and on iPhone you get Siri. So all these voice-based devices, they do nothing, but they just have they decode a conversation between a human voice and a natural language. So the machine, like Siri uses a natural language processing. So it's an NLP machine learning model to understand what command you are giving to it. So that is where voice UX and conversation design comes into play. So conversational design is nothing. It's just speech recognition and text-to-speech conversion, which is being used in physical gadgets. So when we talk about conversational design, so try asking Siri, hey Siri, who's the Prime Minister of India? So it will give you, hey, it's Narendra Modi right now. So what happens is Siri decoded the question that you're asking. It searched through the information it has, and it gave you an answer in a tone or in a phrase or sentence that is human-like. You don't really feel that you're talking to a machine. You feel like you're talking to a person, and that is where NLP algorithms come into play. They try to make the machines smart enough so that you don't feel like you're talking to a machine. You will feel like you're having a real conversation with a real person. So I don't know how many of you have seen the session where, Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, he made an appointment using Google Assistant with, haircutting salon or something. He did it in a live session in, I guess like a year or 2 years ago. So that is how advanced the machines are going to be in future. And as a UX designer, you need to understand how voice UX works and how a conversational designer works. So I'll give you just a brief overview about it. So let's say you ask Siri, so hey Siri, where is Kedarnath? Do you know where is Kedarnath? It will say, yes, I know. But is this answer useful? No. Siri knows where that place is. That is not enough. So you also need more context. So as a voice UX designer, you need to understand what kind of questions people can ask and how your machine or your application should respond to it. It should not just say yes or no. It should give more context so that users can get information, users can get useful results out of it. So that's how, as a voice UX designer, you need to design conversations. Like you need to think about all the questions and scenarios that the users can ask, and then you need to think about the answers that your machine should give. So how voice UX designer works is by designing conversations, by designing contexts, and by designing exit points. Now think about this. In a voice device or a gadget, you do not have a screen. So let's say you have Alexa or Google HomePod. The user does not have a screen. He cannot exit at any point. He cannot press escape button or come out. So if he is deep in a flow of a conversation, how should he come out? So that is the job of a voice UX designer or conversational designer, to design exit points as well, and also to design conversations in a way that are relatable. So for example, sometimes you might notice, like now the devices have become really smart, but 3 years back or maybe 4 years back, I had an iPhone and I asked Siri, like, who is the Prime Minister of India? It said Narendra Modi. And then I asked it, how old is he? And it gave me a correct answer. And in the third question, I asked, like, is he married? So it lost the context. Siri lost the context, and Siri asked me, I did not get you. What did you say? So as a voice UX designer, you also need to understand that keeping context of a conversation for a user is very important. You need to design conversations in a way that the machine understands that which question is related to the previous one and which question is not. So right now, it might be a bit overwhelming or the information might be too much to understand, but yeah, you can like go back and see, how it works. So I'll also give you a bit overview of NLP. What is natural language processing? So in simple words, NLP is a machine learning algorithm that helps the machine to decode, understand, and even write human language. It is divided into two categories: semantics and syntax. Syntax is a meaningful sentence that can be constructed by using right arrangement of words, and semantics refers to extracting or providing meaning to a group of words or sentences. No, you don't need to go into so much technical detail. Just think about this. There are so many ways to ask a question, right? If you are hungry, you can ask Siri, I'm hungry. So it will suggest you restaurants near you. It will suggest you places you can order food from. And maybe it will suggest you some recipes that you can cook right in your kitchen. So that is how the machine understands that hunger means these different things. Hunger can mean a restaurant. Hunger can mean recipes for the kitchen. Hunger can also mean some applications inside your phone like Uber Eats or Zomato or Swiggy, from where you can just go and order food. So that is how natural language processing works. In a machine, a designer or maybe a machine learning expert or programmer, they feed such information that if a user asks you this question, these can be the possibilities of the answers. So that is how the basics of NLP work. NLP does not really work on phrases or sentences. It works on action words. You can get similar results with 10 different questions. You can ask Siri that I'm hungry. You can ask Siri, can I order some food? You can ask Siri, hey, can you suggest me some different recipes that I can cook? You can ask Siri, where is the Chinese restaurant I can order food from? So it will give you similar results because they work on action words. So let me give you even simpler example. So let's say you want Alexa to play a song for you. So there are like 100 ways you can tell Alexa to do that. Hey Alexa, play a song of Justin Bieber for me. Hey Alexa, I want to listen to Justin Bieber. Hey Alexa, play a particular song, like play Yummy from Justin Bieber for me, or maybe Yummy from Justin Bieber. Just that. So Alexa will, ignore the words that don't really mean anything. Like it will ignore hey, it will ignore, other redundant details, but it will pick up the action word, like play a song. Alexa will pick that up and it performs an action based upon your command. So natural language processing is exactly that. So what can you achieve with NLP? You can achieve like a million things. As a designer, if you understand how NLP works, you can include such features in your designs. You can suggest new features in your designs, and you can achieve basically anything. So it can help you achieve, analyzing text from books or documents, decoding the prescriptions of doctors, personalized and accurate chatbots, brand reputation, sentiment analyses. Now, look at just this session, this YouTube session. It's almost going to be 1 hour long. You think everyone has that much time to, sit in a place and then listen to 1 hour long conversation? Not everyone. And honestly, not everyone will do that. So as a designer, if I have to suggest a feature to YouTube, it can be a feature where you decode a video or maybe audio from that video and just give me important information out of it, or maybe convert it into a PDF so that I can read it whenever I'm free. And in that PDF also, I want just the important information highlighted. So my time is saved. So I don't have to go through 1 hour long video and just sit there and try to understand what is being said. I can just save this entire video as a PDF or maybe as highlighted notes and then refer to it whenever I want to. So that can be a feature that I can suggest YouTube that can be achieved with NLP. So I will also briefly cover 6 industries in which NLP can be used and it can be revolutionary. First is education. So summarizing books, audio, podcast, videos, and highlighting important stuff. Just the thing I talked about. Second is e-commerce. So personalized and customized experiences, more informed response systems. So when you call customer care center, it's very annoying when they say press 1 for English, Hindi ke liye 2 dabaye. So instead of that, you just call the customer care center, you tell them this is my problem, and they give you the exact answer. So much time is saved. You don't have to wait for a real agent to come online or talk to you. You just get your answer and you just continue doing anything you want in your life. You don't sit on the phone and wait for a real agent to appear to solve your problem. And then integrated tech into retail like VR glasses. So this all can be achieved with NLP. Then the third industry is fintech and banking. So you can have a very quick information analysis and more reliable chatbots. So information analysis in banking is really important. So if you want to open a bank account, imagine how many forms you have to fill. There's so much paperwork that you have to do. Now imagine that you can do that just in an application. Like just fill a form in an application, upload your documents. Now it is being possible because the information is verified using machine learning algorithms. So there are no people who are actually, sitting on the back end and going through every single piece of information and then verifying whether this person's bank account should be opened or not. Instead of that, they have sophisticated machine learning models who verify that information and who can also immediately see that this piece of information is wrong, or maybe this document is not original. So that is more reliable than human intervention. And then healthcare tech. I have also worked in healthcare tech as a designer, so I understand, NLP has a great future in healthcare. So you can build accurate patient profiles, you can have prescriptions and reports and scans, you can analyze those prescriptions and you can extract keywords. So understanding language or handwriting of a doctor is very difficult. So how about an application where you can just scan your prescription and it tells you exactly the medicine that is written, or it just exactly tells you your blood pressure count, how much is your systolic blood pressure, how much is your diastolic blood pressure, and everything from just a scan. So achieving these kinds of things is absolutely possible, all with NLP. And you can also utilize speech to text models. So in Western countries, like in US, it's a law that whenever a patient visits a doctor, the entire conversation has to be recorded. recorded. So this is done so that later on that conversation can be referred, and if the doctor has mentioned some medicines, those medicines can also be, if the patient doesn't remember them, it's a task. So that's why they record the conversations, and healthcare conversations are absolutely important, because later on, if a wrong medicine is prescribed to a patient, if a patient dies, so then they have a proof that okay, this doctor is the one who recommended this. So that's why there are so many recordings of patients and doctor conversations, and those recordings can be keywords can be extracted from them. Those recordings can be converted to PDF. Those recordings can be converted to text, and then keywords and important information can be extracted from that text. And the fifth is travel technology. Right now I'm working in travel technology, so yes, NLP can be used there as well. So you can present customized deals, rental offers, and vacation packages to people. You can analyze social media information to predict trends and interests. So for example, I am in Europe right now, so now I don't get suggestions to visit Jaipur or Rajasthan anymore. I get suggestions to visit France, Germany, and the countries that are near me. So that is how results for every single user can be customized. And finally, social media. We all know how social media has been used in the past, and how like Facebook and Cambridge Analytica scandal was all over the internet in last US elections. So yes, NLP has already been used in social media. It will continue being used there. But in social media, I believe that there is a need to have more ethical information handling and laws that prevent a misuse of information. And also, I will just give a little bit context about OpenAI and GPT-3. We will not get into the details. So OpenAI is an initiative taken by Elon Musk and some other supporters who believe that artificial intelligence should not get into the hands of one organization or one government, and it should not be, you can say, ruled on by these things. So it should be decentralized. It should be available to everybody. It should not turn into a monopoly. So GPT-3 is a generative pre-trained transformer. So it's an algorithm that allows humans to communicate with machines in simple English. So you wrote your command in simple English language. You did not use any coding language or any syntax or any rules. You just wrote what you want in simple English language, and it gave you that. So there is also a dark side of everything. I discussed pretty much how the last elections were influenced. Data misuse is really common, so that can happen in any industry. It can happen in banking, it can happen in healthcare. So yes, ethical use of data is very important. And another question, will designers or programmers be required in future? So I get this question a lot. When you talk about technology that is so advanced, you start to doubt whether you will be relevant or not. So yes, you will be. Designers will be still required. Programmers will also be required. So it's not like you are going to get obsolete or designers will not be needed. So even if there are sophisticated machine learning algorithms or AI models that can design everything on their own, there still will be designers who will be needed to monitor the final outcome, who will be needed to consult, who will be needed to build better designs. I think designers have a long way to go, really. We are just starting out. So no, this industry is not dying, and no, we will not be redundant. Thank you for being so patient.
I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something from it. If you are into designing B2B and SaaS products and how to go about them, how are they different from consumer products, do check out this video we did with Manishankar Sharma, who has 5 years of experience in building B2B and SaaS products for some of the best players in India. I'll see you in that video. Till then, happy designing.